This is why we love the NFL.
The big game, the most viewed sporting event in the world, Super Bowl Sunday, is February 13th. The Cincinnati Bengals take on the LA Rams. John Rush, former CFL player with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Grey Cup winner, is with me to make some bold predictions, fearless predictions. John, the big game, here it comes. Are people excited? And who's the big name? What are the big stories coming out from the Rams versus the Bengals?
I'm excited. I'm excited. This is a huge game for me. Little known fact, I grew up in Niagara Falls going to Buffalo Bills game my entire life, but I've always been a Bengals fan. I had a Chad Johnson jersey before he changed his name to Chad Ochocinco. And Bills Mafia, when the Bengals played there, I was like 14 and like Bills Mafia were giving it to me. So I've always been a Bengals fan. I'm super excited about this because it's been so long. It's been, I'm not from Cincinnati, but we've been suffering. Bengals fans have been suffering, and Joey Burrows, and the first quarterback in his first two seasons to go to the Super Bowl is just, it's really something to behold, and watching his progression as an athlete in the NFL and how much of a leader he is really it's been really great to see. And he's not only a great football player, but he's great in the community, he's great in the press, and he's been doing a lot of really amazing things. So I'm really excited to see what he can do on the ultimate stage. He's been proving himself this past season. He's been showing us what he can do. He can that big overtime win is, so I'm excited to see what he can do on the big stage. And I might be a little bit biased, I'm not gonna lie, but I think everyone's really excited to see where this game goes, because I'm sure if you asked people a year ago who was going to be in the Super Bowl, not too many people picked the Cincinnati Bengals and the LA Rams. So there's going to be a lot of people tuning in to see how this game turns out.
And it's probably good for the sport to have different parts of the country represented, and it brings a whole new fan base and support base, which, of course, the NFL throughout the entire pandemic, when they did play, they didn't suffer in the ratings. They were certainly still very popular. Unlike some of the other professional sports, the NFL was able to keep their audiences. And of course, the pinnacle and the penultimate moment is the Super Bowl. But we as Canadians, we constantly complain that we can't see those awesome Super Bowl ads that cost millions of dollars for 25 seconds or 20 seconds of airtime. So, it is a bit frustrating. We do get to go on YouTube or on the web and watch them after the fact, but it does take a bit away from that experience in some ways, John. So it's a bit frustrating, but I don't want to dwell on that too much. This is, the game that all athletes want to get to and achieve. You've been there. You've been in the Grey Cup. What's going through their heads? What are they doing? What are they? How are they preparing?
It's very hard to put it into words, the feeling and the emotions involved around this moment, because for many of these players, they've been playing. I researched Joey Burrows, and he's been playing since he was 5 years old. Myself, I was playing since I was 9 years old. You practice and play and put in all that time for 15, 17, 19, 20 plus years straight into one thing to get to this exact moment. It's hard to put that into words, that you're reaching your ultimate life goal. It's very hard to put that into words. And it's in a very overwhelming moment, because, as much as you can prepare for this moment, you've never been there before, right? For a lot of these players, they haven't been there before. So it's very difficult. It's very overwhelming. So there's so much coming at them so fast right now, between the press, the interviews, preparing to go spend 2 weeks away from home in a city that they're not accustomed to. So one of the biggest things we talked about when we went to the Grey Cup is to just eliminate as many distractions as possible, because the one goal right now is it's great that they got to the Super Bowl, but the ultimate goal is to win it. No one talks about who loses the Super Bowl,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to get there and lose, right? You want to get there and win. So right now everything's kind of a big distraction. So you want to try and eliminate those distractions as much as possible, as difficult as that may be, right? And that it's not an easy thing to do with all these news outlets and there's social media now and everyone bombarding you with all of these things. It's difficult, but it's very overwhelming, and these rookies and these younger guys need to rely on the older vets that have potentially been there. Maybe they haven't been there with the Bengals, but they've been there with other teams to guide them through this process.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's a show and a spectacle aside from the game. John, you've been on the winning end of a major sporting event with the Grey Cup and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. What's that like?
You know what? And it kind of goes back to, it being hard to put into feelings, even being in that position, even winning it even harder. And I remember there was a point where I was sitting in the hotel room in Kenora 3 months after we won, with the Grey Cup sitting in front of me, because we were touring around the province, bringing the Grey Cup to all these different communities. And I was sitting there by myself in the hotel room, just looking at it, and I was just like, I can't believe we did this. I can't believe this is real life. Like it seemed so surreal. The whole moment, the confetti going off, the people hugging you getting the hats, hoisting the trophy, drinking champagne out of the trophy. It all felt so surreal, and you're just so overwhelmed. It goes by so quick. You can't even take it in, really. So you really rely on people taking pictures and videos so you can kind of go back and look at it, because in the moment, it's just like everything's kind of flying by you at a million miles a minute. And like I said, it took me about 3 months to fully kind of realize what we did and how amazing of an accomplishment that was.
And it's a rare moment for very few people to get to enjoy. I would be remiss before I let you go, fearless prediction. Who's going to win on Super Bowl Sunday?
Like I said, I'm a little bit biased, but I think it's going to be a very good game. These are two very talented and very driven teams. I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Bengals come out on top 31-27.
There you have it from John Rush, former CFL player and Winnipeg Blue Bomber, and happened to win a Grey Cup. So he knows a thing or two. And what do you think? Are you going to be watching the game? Where are you going to bootleg those ads from? You have some friends that have appeared with you, John. So tell us, what are you up to now?
So now that I've stopped playing football, I adopted 2 dogs, and together we run a vegan food blog called Rescue Dog Kitchen. This is Bailey right here. She's about just turning 3 actually in February, and this is Bonhomme. He's originally from Quebec, and he only has one eye now. He got cancer in the summer, and we had to remove his one eye, but he's all good now. And he is about 4.5. So they're both great Pyrenees mixes. Very hairy, lots of hair everywhere. But we run this vegan food blog together where we share our favorite recipes that other people can make. Because as a vegan football player, a lot of people had a lot of questions for me about where I got my protein, what I ate, and things like that. So I thought it would be a good idea to combine 2 of my favorite things, which is vegan cooking and my rescue dog. So we donate 50% of the proceeds on the site back to rescue shelters, and the other 50% goes back into the website to help grow it, so we can continue to help more and more dogs and go from there. So Bailey is very energetic, and she loves to cuddle. So but I pretty much spend all my time with them. You can kind of see in the background on my desk, there's all my pictures are of them, and they're my whole world. So I spend all my time walking them, hanging out with them, and doing stuff. So it's a good life. It's a little bit different than the one I used to have. It's a little bit calmer, I could say, and a little bit less stressful on my body. But I love it, and I wouldn't change it for the world. These guys they're they're great. They're a lot of fun. Well, right now I'm just trying to grow grow our social media platform so that we can continue to do this and help more dogs, and hopefully eventually do this as a full-time role so that we can keep getting out there and hopefully adopt more dogs, because at the end of the day that's my real goal. But I got to continue growing our platforms here in order to do that.
Log on to Facebook and Twitter. Let us know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.